Hello everybody! My name is Rudolf Ladner and I'm very delighted to be here and work here for you. Let's get started! Nowadays, pharmaceutical industry one of the successful branch. Nevertheless, a huge pharmaceutical companies are involved in scandals connected with corruption issues, concealment the result of science researches and low quality of medicine more often. During the first days of November, the State Duma had accepted a new bill with the corrections to the law on circulations of medicines in the first reading. The market should be ready to huge changes. In 3 years, all of Russian medicine developers and importers will be checked in accordance with GMC standards, which became necessary since 2014. The question of quality of production which manufactured by the pharmaceutical companies is very actual for today. Medicine must be not just effective in use, but also safe for human, and choice must be relied on the most trustworthy information. The Cochrane collaboration international community of scientists, which has chosen as their target a seeking and generalization of results of researches, which has been done using a random choosing of subjects and controlled clinical trials of therapeutic interventions. The organization was founded in 1992 and called in honor of English epidemiologist Archie Cochrane, who made the first systematic review in 1973. The number of adherents and partners is increasing day by day. Kazan Federal University also take part in the Nordic Cochrane Center Group. The Cochrane collaboration is financed and supported by governments as opposed to the global private pharmaceutical companies, the so-called Big Pharma. The Big Pharma wants to get as more income as possible, and it doesn't matter how it will be managed to do that. A number of countries in Europe and America realized malignancy of Big Pharma's business and began financing the Cochrane collaboration for detection of crimes in field of pharmacy and pharmacology, as well as for scientific qualified assessment in what is happening in this area. One of the mottos of the Cochrane collaboration is, do not trust the Nobel laureates, but better read Cochrane systematic review. There is plenty of literature and opinions which says that such a high world-class award may be shifted to the favor of some private interest. The main product of the activities of the Cochrane collaboration, Cochrane Library, a unique database, includes the best information about most reliable studies, because it's based on the principles of evidence-based medicine, the most modern technologies for the collection and generalization of medical information. The process of creating the database reflects the effort of the systematic study of all the journals and other medical publications from all over the world undertaken, and the international level to create a universal and impartial source of data for systematic reviews.
And this book by Professor Peter Goetsch shows all these in detail and picturesquely. And in fact, this book has to become a textbook, and it should be a table book for each and every professor of pharmacology, and a textbook for all the students in medicine, all the students in pharmacy, and I think all the students in law, because nowadays medicine and healthcare is so closely interrelated with judicial aspects of life.
The Cochrane collaboration, acting as a network of interconnected centers in different countries, and currently has about 3,000 member organizations. Collaboration brings together more than 28,000 volunteer scientists from 100 countries. As a result of 10 years of productive collaboration between Kazan Federal University and the Cochrane collaboration, in April of 2014, Kazan Federal University become an affiliated center of the Nordic Cochrane Center, headed by Peter Guichet. This opens new perspectives for the development of pharmacological direction of Kazan Federal University. At the moment, Kazan Federal University is the only official representative of the Cochrane collaboration in Russia. The next step to become a branch of this international organization.
So now we are working on an exciting project of translating plain language summaries of all Cochrane reviews into Russian. A plain language summary of a Cochrane review is a short one page, in general, summary of all the findings of the Cochrane review, why the Cochrane review was done, what is the main question of a Cochrane review, and what are the implications for everybody, for consumers, for general population. And this is a big project of the Cochrane collaboration of reaching out, of delivering the evidence, the new knowledge of Cochrane reviews to the population of the entire world. So nowadays Cochrane plain language summaries and Cochrane reviews are being translated into all languages, and we are doing the Russian language and are very excited about it. Russian is one of the UN languages, United Nations languages, so it is important to have these plain language summaries in Russian.
As part of the program of the Federal Targeted Program Pharma 2020, the Research and Education Center of Pharmaceutic and Kazan Federal University had been created. This center includes Department of Medical Chemistry, Biomedical and Experimental Production of Medicines and Substances. The Science Center is equipped with the latest modern scientific equipment, and researches of developed medicines are underway already. Every month, dozens of new compounds can be synthesized, and a specialist of the new format also study here.
My name is Liya Safina. I'm second-year graduate student at the Department of Pharmacology. I actually graduated master at the same department. Right now, I'm working in two projects. First project is my PhD thesis work, and the topic is public interests versus intellectual property. And the second direction of my activities are experiments on mice. Experiments are actually the essence of science. That's why I have to get practices in the practical field. And the second, my real thesis is PhD work. I think is very important because public interest is like health problem is always connected with medicines and drugs. Right now, big pharma becomes very strong and money issues become even more important than the health. That's why a lot of people all in the world cannot afford buying medicines. So we have a question, what is more important, health or money? I think that my work is very important because it gives some information and input towards developing right, correct, and health-oriented and public interest-oriented system.
However, except the educational component, the center also develops research activities. The main objective is search and synthesis of candidates for medication that will take place in the future preclinical and clinical trials in the biomedical field. And then, after working off technology of finished dosage forms, they will be produced by GSC Tatchimfarm Preparati. Thus, implemented in life and for practical application, the fundamental researches in the field of fundamental medicine and biology of the oldest classical university.
Hello, my name is Olga Danilova. This is the kaleidoscope of the hottest news of Kazan Federal University. Kazan University is one of the oldest universities in Russia, and over its history is inseparably linked with science. Within the walls of Kazan University, world-famous scientific schools take their origins, and annually more than 100 conferences are held in Kazan Federal University. Briefly, we will tell you about some of them, as well as what honorable guests visited the university. In October, the young scientists of Kazan Federal University looked at the history of a completely different way. This has become possible within Tysenovsky Seminar of Translational History. Translational history is a relatively new trend in science. In the world, it has emerged at the turn of 80s, 90s of the 20th century. The main principle of this approach is a criticism of national and imperial tradition of historiography. Europe today doesn't almost know borders thanks to the European Union. Nations become freer, more mobile, and there are cases when in one country side by side live not only two or not even three, but much more nations. Finding something in common in the history of nations, this is the magic of transnational history. Many policies neglected this science. That's why there are frequent conflicts within countries. For example, in Yugoslavia, tension could have been avoided. Transnational history in Kazan Federal University only began to develop, but has managed to find its followers. Therefore, the attention of the young scientist to the guests from Germany was great.
Kazan University has long been famous for its linguistic school. Linguistic policy is developing at the university today and has a great influence. Another important step in the development of humanitarian direction in Kazan University was the International Scientific Conference, Volga region as an indicator of linguistic policy in multinational Russia at the present stage. The best linguists of Finland, Germany and Russia gathered together in Kazan University to share their knowledge to each other.
For example, the cooperation of Kazan Federal University and the Justus Leipzig University Gießen of Germany has lasted for more than 25 years. Scientists are working together to study both languages model of the West and of the East and hope that this experience will help to develop a universal model suitable for all languages.
The role of the humanities in the sciences in general, yes. It's very complicated to answer to this question. The problem is that natural sciences produce concrete results, we can say so, yes, tablets and so on. It's not possible in the humanities. It's not visible what produce the humanities. Because we explain the culture, the spirit, I don't know, all things which are combined with culture and so on.
To study the linguistic theaters, differentiation and similarity of languages, their identity and uniqueness, the best place is Volga region, because here a wide variety of languages is presented: Tatar, Bashkir, Mari, Chuvashi, Udmurt and many others.
Geology has been developing at our university since its foundation, and now the Institute of Geology and Petroleum Technologies is one of the most promising and fastest growing business units. The institute collaborates with many international universities, one of which is Freiburg University of Mining and Technology.
In October, Professor of Technical University of Freiburg Mining Academy, Jörg Schneider, visited the institute. This university positions itself as University of Resources. That's why it puts a lot of emphasis on the cooperation with other universities. The cooperation with Kazan University has been going on for about 10 years and includes the exchange of students, as well as joint research work.
In Freiburg, we have a good cooperation with different universities in Russia. And we try to get the same for Kazan University in the frame of the so-called double diploma. That means students from Kazan come to Germany, to our university, and our students go to Kazan University, and at the end of all they get her diploma from both universities, and that's very good for her future career.
Double degree program will be optional in the summer of 2015. And many students from Freiburg Mining Academy come to Kazan Federal University to conduct researches and participate in international conferences.
We are working together with the Institute for doing fieldwork and collecting samples and doing laboratory work. Next year there will be the Geological Congress on Carboniferous and Permian, and we will go there and there's a meeting and people will give a talk, and also there will be fieldwork for doing excursions in the area, and we are going there to take samples and learn a lot of local geology and work out the stratigraphic correlation.
During their visit, the guests from Germany studied the Geology Museum collection for correlation of planium sediments in the entire globe. In addition, guests got acquainted with new laboratories of the Institute, discussed the results of the research laboratory, stratigraphy of oil and gas basins, as well as its prospects.
That was all for today. Thank you very much and bye-bye!
Nowadays, Russian language takes 4th place in list of popular languages after English, Chinese and Spanish. The amount of people who want to speak that language, which was used for writing and speaking by those great minds as Pushkin, Lermontov, Tolstoy and Dostoevsky, increases from year to year. Perhaps in the Tatarstan Republic, the widest range of opportunities for learning Russian can be offered by Kazan Federal University. More than 300 students from all over the world not just learn how to speak the language here. They also meet the cultural aspects of Russia. Practice in process of learning, especially such difficult as Russian, is very important. That's why classes in Kazan Federal University directed exactly to removing of the language barrier, overcoming fear, and will be helpful for you to start talking in foreign language. Dustin Ordew, USA, Colorado. He had graduated from college in his native city, Colorado Springs, and how he wanted to continue his study and improve his knowledge of Russian language, he decided exactly in Kazan Federal University.
I had worked with some people from Russia when I was studying in America, and so when I graduated from university in America, I thought that I would come to Russia to continue my studies and also to learn Russian because I thought it was a very interesting and difficult language to learn.
Despite that, it's only a month had passed since he began learning. Dustin said that he feels much progress.
I think it's successful. I mean, we've only been here 1 month so far, and already I think we all feel like we can get around the city much better and communicate much better with the people that we meet. But obviously it's still kind of overwhelming sometimes. You know, people come up to you and speak very quickly and it's like, oh, what do I say? I don't know. But I think for it only being 1 month, we've learned quite a lot.
Dustin also gives some advice from his private experience for people who would like to learn foreign language. Just overcome your fear.
Just start talking and don't be embarrassed to make mistakes. I think when you are too afraid to make mistakes, then you will never start speaking. So you just start talking and it will sound terrible, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Just try.
Huge amount of people who want to learn Russian come from Asian countries, China, Korea, India. But a way of polyglot isn't easy. A simple collocation that would seem elementary to Russian people are very difficult to people with different culture, language and country. Students themselves explain choosing Russian language by a huge competition in professional field. To be on top, they must be at a step further. Must be mentioned that economic relations between Russia and Asian countries are going more better. That, of course, may guarantee well-paid job and opportunity of career increase in future.
My dream is being a businessman, but I thought that Russia is a very big country and Russia has many resources and very big nation, and Russia is have many potential to be a big country. So I thought I can achieve my goal in Russia.
There is another factor that makes students choose Kazan and Kazan Federal University. Comfortable living environments and the best prices for education than in other cities.
I'm a student, I don't have many money, but Kazan is very easy to live for foreign people. Tatarstan people will be more favored to foreign people. Kazan Federal University have a very good professor and teachers, so we are very satisfied about that.
Sean was born in England. He travels a lot, but Russia had impressed the young man so much that he decided to stay here and learn the great and mighty Russian language.
I have traveled to Russia before, 4 times in the past, and it's an interesting country which I've enjoyed visiting, meeting Russian people, and I decided that it would be good to learn the language as well. I chose Kazan Federal University because I heard that Kazan is an interesting and historical city in Russia, and so I wanted to visit here and to study Russian in this city.
Teachers of Russian in Kazan Federal University think that the most important in study of foreign language is immersion into language environment.
Firstly, it's deep to language environment. They can hear noises in the street, on buses, on subway. They can hear all the time Russian language. And also the second is communication. They speak not too fluently and Russian language, so here they have a lot of opportunities to speak Russian language.
The main idea is to have courage and target if you want to reach something. Heroes of our report have all of it. Let us wish them luck. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. See you soon.